Alright, alright. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Gonna show my gear here. I'm gonna kind of talk about my plans and my plan of attack going forward with min-maxing my character and whatnot. So starting off, I got, obviously my pet equips. And I will be upgrading this to another 54 magic attack pet equip eventually with another vac pet I will get soon. Then I don't have the Misty Island totem. I skipped it because there was 2x events at the time and I really wanted to focus on leveling. And pitch boss, I'm at 5 set. I actually have no intention on getting any other pitch item from this set other than a Source of Suffering and the level 200 hearts from Extreme Lotus. They'll be the only two things I plan on getting, but Source of Suffering isn't until way later. And the Superior Ring, I will be keeping this over the Slime Ring because of the bonus pot difference. And Slime Ring, I did want to upgrade mine, but now that there's going to be the new 250 ring, I don't think it's worth it anymore. ROR 4 and Weapon Jump 4 switch. Eventually I'll get level 5. I'm thinking the best course of action is just whenever I get a grindstone to use it. But it's hard justifying buying them for 20 bill each at this time. My book flame is 106, really good. Definitely never changing that. My Sweetwater pendant, this eventually I want to replace with an SOS because going down in the future, there's going to be a set that replaces pitch boss, and I'm assuming that there's going to be a pendant. So best in slot would be the new pitch boss pendant and SOS. I'd have to look into it more, but that's not something to worry about for a very long time. So for now, my pendants will remain the same, and I will be using the Golux set, and my Golux set is very powerful, so like very good potentials and everything. So I will be using the Golux set until that new set comes out, and that's like years down the line. Weapon, I really want tier 7 magic attack and boss, but it just feels so hard to get and everything, and now using ROR is actually better for me than weapon jump because I'm at well, you'll see soon, like 100k int with my gear without like Maple Goddess. So, and then 23-star Golux belts, like the Dream Belt Commander Force Earrings are completely off the table for me. I don't think they're worth it at all over Golux for me. I might as well just keep waiting for the new set. My Golux set again should be good enough until then. And my first Eternal item, yes. That was a crazy start for a session. But yeah, for Eternals, that's the next goal, right? Is the top and bottom. But I have to be very patient, very patient with it. You know, like I said with this hat, like I bought it clean with 33 int main pot already cubed, and that's what I want bare minimum. I don't mind going for bonus pot, I don't mind scrolling, I don't mind star forcing, but cubing main pot is so unpredictable and just not worth it, so I just have to really be patient. So that's the next gear upgrades to do, that's long term. And then again with Berserk Pitch Boss, there's this concept that I like to call good enough. And if an item is good enough to get the next item, like that's best in slot or better in slot, then don't invest any more into it. And that's where this is. There's no point in changing this at all. And then same thing with the eye patch. There's really no point to change this. It's good enough for the far and foreseeable future. Zero A top, very temporary. I think this is the only thing I have left with 27 main pots equivalents. So eventually, eternal top and eternal bottom. Not much to say here. These are just very temporary until then. Oh, this is 27 too. Yeah, so GMS announced that they're releasing the Eternal Glove, Cape, and Shoe. So, Arcane, keeping it as is, it's good enough. No point in switching it out. And then Golux Earring. So I do have one with 3-line bonus pot that I'm slowly going to be cubing with event cubes, solid cubes from events, and boss drops, RP cubes, and all that stuff. And maybe if Violet cubes come out, I might try 30 or 60. We'll see. But essentially, once this earring with 3-line bonus pot hits, when it hits 30% in, I basically can sell my old earrings for like 20 or 30 bill. So that's the idea is, once those hit, I get plus 20 or 30 bill. It's a very small upgrade, but it is something I will eventually get, slowly. And then, yeah, with Arcane Shoulder, Arcane everything, keeping it as is, not switching it. Now this is going to be very, very hard for me to match with the Eternal Gloves, but I might just have to say GG 3 crit damage on the Eternal Gloves or something eventually. So yeah, this is definitely my best item, I think. The bonus pot is just so immaculately good. It's crazy. Android Heart is not worth doing anything to outlaw anymore as far as I'm concerned, because we will be getting a new heart with X Lotus that will replace this. I'm thinking the play for the X Lotus heart for me is whenever I get one as a drop, we'll 17 star it, 33 main pot, 2-line bonus pot, X scroll it, and then whenever I get another drop, we'll go for the 22 or boom. I think that's the idea for Android Heart. So Outlaw will remain as is, not worth touching. Again, the concept of good enough. And again, Arcane Cape, it's good enough. It's going to get replaced with Eternal Cape, not changing it, not even thinking about it or anything like that. Shield. So Shield, as much as I would like to get 3-line bonus pot on it, I really do think that secondaries are going to get replaced. And I think that just 2-line bonus pot is good enough for WSC for the time being. Well, I don't know if I will ever change this or swap this until a new secondary were to come out. But again, I don't know. I really do feel like the secondary is eventually going to get upgraded. And then, you know, I just used Monster Park Medal. Pretty standard. Badge, I did manage to get a potable badge back in the day. Fully ICOG for 6 magic attack, 3 int. And I did 20 star scroll it. If potable badges ever do return, I would consider going to 22, depending how they return, whether it's an event or a Mesa shop. I'm not sure if they ever will though, but I do see a future where GMS will re-release this. But for now, it's staying as is. I'm definitely not risking it for the biscuit. And now, this, I think, is the biggest, this is by far the biggest Meso purchase I've ever done. For one item, I bought it completely as is. In fact, it might be one of the biggest, if not the biggest Meso purchase of any one singular item in Aurora. Paid 370 bill for it, as is. I farmed all that Meso organically, some from boss loots and whatnot. I'm really happy to have this emblem. All my WSCs, double prime main pot, not changing it. 3-line bonus pot will just have to come if I get lucky enough with the bonus bright cubes. But weapon first, then maybe secondary, we'll see. And then my familiar setup, it can be better for sure, but not by a whole lot. So I have 30 boss, 40 IED, and then I have 6 crit damage and 40 boss. On this familiar, I really wanted 9 magic attack, 40 boss. But I rolled this, and calculating the difference, it's maybe like 1, maybe 1.5 file damage loss over 9 magic attack. And at that point, it's just not worth trying to re-roll it. So it's definitely keepable for now. I have no intention on doing familiars ever again. It sucks. Until there's some free way to re-roll legendaries, it's just staying as is. My last one is 50 boss and large HP and MP healing. I will, like I said, never change these. I got my 120 boss, 40 IED, 6 crit damage, and healing. Healing is, very helpful in a lot of situations. But yeah, that's my familiar setup. And then, my Legion setup. Right now, I'm missing 70 magic attack from these just being bugged. But, crit damage, buff duration, boss damage. IED isn't as important as either of these 3 for Bishop. But I am missing, these 2. And these would be extra, like, 10 slots I'm missing, so I might even put IED out into or Magic Tech. I still haven't really calculated that. And then Link skills. I use these Link skills for bossing. I know a lot of people don't think Noble Fire is good solo, but it's 6% boss damage basically. 4% boss and then 2% damage, which is the same thing as boss damage, right? Except it works on both boss and regular monster. I think it's much better than 10% all stat from Xenon Link, and I think that the Kane Link is the only other contender for it, but I never really time it correctly. So this is what I use. And then my stat window. Ka-dong! 560 million combat power, and this puts me in like the top 3, top 5 spot if you compare to like the top Bishop combat powers in Korea Maple, and their gear is like way more stacked than mine. And there's this thing that I like to call the GMS privilege, where we have like 0 attack speed in the familiars, which make up for a lot of that super min-max gear that those really top players have in KMS. So this is where I'm currently at. My future goals and plans are to keep farming Meso between, maybe an average of like 3 to 4 hours a day at best. Especially, I'm doing a little bit more than that because fragments being tradable does motivate me a bit more. I eventually would like to get 10 boss on this inner ability, but I'm just gonna safely roll it with the 3rd preset so I don't have to risk losing anything, and it's not that much of a gain. 103k stat, all that good stuff. And then last but not least, I'll show my Legion artifact. And I have no intention on ever spending money. I'll just farm it up. With how long and patient I'm being with everything, by the time an opportunity to upgrade comes along, I'll have enough Meso to do whatever I want to it. So, for example, the Eternal top and bottom is the next best items to upgrade to from where I'm currently at. And because main pot is so unpredictable and so RNG heavy compared to everything else for 3 lines. Same with bonus pot, but my settle for bonus pot is just 2 lines, which is so much easier to roll. So I'll wait as long as it takes for a 33 top, 33 bottom, and then whatever is missing on it, scrolling, bonus pot, everything, I'll do that self. But I will wait, I will wait, I will wait. My character does not need to get any stronger, but I do want it to get stronger, and I'm going to need Meso for that. And if I'm not paying to win for the Meso, I will farm it. I will do bosses. I'll do what it takes. I'm not going to be super hardcore degen farming and all that, but that's currently where I'm at, my plans in the future, and I think that it will be very cool to see where I end up. I'm thinking I can get to 600 mil by the time I finish the top and bottom, or very close to. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's my plans. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And got it!